Hi guys, welcome back. We are going to go ahead today and work more on the druid. I know last time we spent a lot of time on the skin. So today we are going to hop into her outfit, I believe. And there's a lot of little details in this outfit, so it is gonna take us a little while, even though I think we finish her in this video as well. Don't know why it cut to black there. That was a little weird. Yeah, so I'm mixing up some greens and stuff. And I'm just applying it to her base color. I'm actually going to go over it with a color shifting paint, which is going to give it a different tone, and I quite enjoy that. The color shifting paint makes the top portion of this, instead of looking like leaves, it looks like feathers, which I really like. Gives her a whole different appearance. Sorry for the black spots in the video, guys. I don't know why that's happening. That just came up. It looks like it's happening a lot in this video. I will try and figure out what went wrong there, so that way it doesn't happen next time. For the next video, which I have a backlog of the another like Druid Ranger that I've done versus Druid Spellcaster. And then if you want, I can start doing lives on YouTube, and I've got a tiefling that we can do. I've got a necromancer I've been working on. I've also got a witch hunter and like a mermaid and some stuff too. If y'all'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. It would be greatly appreciated. Get some interactions going. Just kind of let me know what y'all like and not like, and how I can improve. Looking at trying to get a better camera to film this stuff so you can see quality a little bit better. Here I am painting more of the leaves, trying to get that nice uniform base coat on before I go and do any more of like the small details. Mixing that green and keeping everything the same color was difficult, but doable. And then y'all just gotta tell me if you like the sped up thing. Also, if you like the multiple parts thing, or if you just kind of want it more like in pieces and chunks, like where I show you, like I start painting it and then I just come back and everything's done, and then we move on to the next part. Kind of how you want it done. I like the sped up version because then I can still see what the person's doing. Kind of pause as I go. Trying to fix up where I got some green paint there. But some feedback would be great. Kind of what y'all like and don't like. I paint all these. We're done live on Twitch. Like I said, thinking about starting to do YouTube lives instead. More skin touch up. You see I'm trying to make a skin color there that closely matches, I think, or maybe a shadow color. So I think the shadow color will cover that green a little bit better. Yeah, it's a shadow color. Try and drop it in there because I think it'll cover the green a little better. So then I start blending it in kind of all over the model. Even though we spent 2 hours alone on just her skin the other day. Alright, now we're starting the top layer of leaves, which I chose to make a lighter green and add the color shift to it. That way it looks more like feathers than leaves. If you're wondering, this mini is from Thunderdeep Minis, which I have said in the other video. He does a great job on all of his miniatures. The Druid Ranger as well is from Thunderdeep Minis. I have a few more from different companies, so we could try all different things. If you've got any suggestions, I've kind of been buying my miniatures from small businesses. The Necromancer I bought from Hero Forge, but that's because it's a custom for someone. There was still footage there. I don't know. Oh well, I will figure it out before the next video. What's a video without technological problems? Am I right, guys? Yep, here's some more of that color shift paint going on. And some dry brushing, I think I'm doing to pick up some of those highlights. And yes, here I'm still doing my plastic bag method. Yeah, that or I'm dropping in shadows on the skin. Might be shadows on the skin. Shadows on the skin. And puts the lotion on the skin. The glare is because I have to work with a really bright light. So I'm trying to show you what I'm doing, but I have to work with really bright light and my overhead light on, which is different than some of the other setups I have for lighting. Yeah, we're dropping in more shadows because I didn't think the shadows were well defined enough. I didn't like that. So we're just dropping in more shadows, blending, dropping in more shadows, blending. Now dropping in some highlights. which I think was harder for me. Figuring out where that skin was going to be touched by whatever lighting. Green. What am I making? You can't tell what that color is. Some sort of cool toned brown? Green? Cool toned green or brown? A pretty dark one. Ah! It was gray. That was the color. I was painting the mushrooms that she's standing on. Trying to have me be able to see, but y'all also be able to see. That, I think, is one of the most difficult things about my current camera setup. Making sure everyone can see what I'm doing. This just goes to show you, if you just take your time, you don't need expensive things. I literally use, and I think I say this in every video, but I use acrylic paint from Walmart. Just cheap acrylic paint. And I think Folk Art and Apple Barrel. And a little bit of the Folk Art floating medium to thin out my paints. And cheap brushes from like Walmart and Amazon, and sometimes the bulk brushes from like Joann's and stuff. I don't spend a lot of money to enjoy this hobby. To make washes, I just really thin down the acrylic paint. And then like I lift it off with paper towel. Still is the same thing. It's just a little bit more tedious work and time. And you kind of have to make sure your paint's really dry in between. I think I'm doing the bottom of the mushrooms now. The mushrooms took me a little while because I wanted to make sure I didn't get any of this stuff on her feet. So they took me a little bit. Blue tack is a very helpful thing. You just gotta be really careful because when you go to like peel up your model for whatever reason, if they're not on a stand, like she's not, it's not as helpful. It gets stuck in all the little crevices. Luckily, blue tack lifts up blue tack. So, something to remember. You just use a little piece of blue tack and get it off of your model if need be. It's not something that you can really see on the model, so I wasn't trying to get super detailed. I just wanted to painted so that way if you did catch the sides of the mushroom for any reason from the model, you could see same with like the bottoms and backs of her feet. Just in case you could see detail. The base leather color for her belt, which we end up going over with a color shifting kind of brown to gold paint. Which I think looks super nice. I will tell you, if your model comes apart, paint the pieces first. If you have to clean off the paint to get the super glue to stick the joints together, that's fine. But I would paint it in pieces first, like I've done this model. Because I have a model that's a tiefling, and there are certain parts that I wish would have came like in pieces and not printed as a whole model. I'm having to be very strategic how I paint that tiefling. We were trying to get a real precise tip on that paintbrush for some reason. We're trying to dot those eyes with white because they're going to end up being a glowing pink. So hard. I still find this very hard. I have much smaller brushes now, but I still find it very difficult. One of the most difficult things on a miniature, even though I work at like 32nd scale, 32 millimeter. I really am thinking of stepping everything up to 40 millimeter. I know that's quite big for D&D models. That's why I'm trying not to do it. Keep everything at like 32 millimeter. But I have some 28 millimeters that I didn't know were going to be 28 millimeters. And they're like super tiny. And I don't know how I'm going to paint them. I think with a wish and a prayer. If you would like to see me make a fool of myself, please let me know. And those are the ones we can do. But you just gotta let me know what you want to see. Alright, here's where we started to do her hair. Looks good. I went with a more blue than black, but blue-black. And I think it went real well, especially with contrasted with those greens. Her really dark hair. And then her buddy that you saw in the beginning of the video is red with like black tips and hints of dark colors. So I think it complemented really well, especially since her tail and her ears later on will be red as well. So got some contrasting hues, but in the same color family, a little, not color family, but like not in the more cool toned reds versus warm toned reds. Try to stick with more like purpley bluey reds than your warm reds. I'm trying to be real precise with her hair. It's very, very difficult to be super precise like this with her hair. So many small little strands go like right around her delicate areas, like her neck and her face, and I was so scared because I know once that blue and black hit those parts, it was going to be really, really, really hard to clean up. Oops. I don't know if I'm trying to clean up something there, because I might have gotten some on her neck, or what I'm doing there. That might have been what I was doing, trying to clean it up. This video took so long to get out because between work and all this footage and trying to speed everything up so you could see it, it just took me a while to get everything mushed together. Plus it's a longer video, so painting everything with a bigger but still tiny brush. There we go. Me adjusting my camera so see if y'all can get a better look, because I noticed that y'all couldn't see me doing her hair. Still couldn't see me doing her hair. I was trying to get it to where you could see me doing her hair because it's like I wanted y'all to be able to see it. Got smart trying to go in between the skin color and the hair color, so that way I could keep everything blended and not looking so messy. Just really hard. But doable. I'm definitely not going to say it was easy. I've grown so much since that miniature. This is like one of my first miniatures. And this is kind of where I'm showing it off. kind of pointing to what we've done. So after showing you that, I think I'm coming in with a wash. That's what I'm doing. Coming in with a wash. And it goes dark in. Try to get into all those recesses, help add some detail. So that's what we're doing. Make it look nice. You gotta love a wash. That's for certain. So we're giving it a good wash. A nice dark green. Just trying to let it get into those recesses. As you can see, it's already making the leaves pop. She's got a lot more definition. It's already looking really good. And then I think later on you come in with a dry brush. And that may be even right here. Maybe. Give it a moment. I don't think it's exactly right here. And it goes dark. I might be mixing up the dry brush right now. This is obviously the next time I filmed, which is probably the next weekend. Yep, going in with the dry brush, kind of highlighting everything. To pick up those details even more. Doing the arm pieces, I was praying the entire time it wasn't gonna break. That's all I could do. The lighter color has the color shift in it. Which to me makes her feel more like a druid, especially a druid spellcaster. Kind of gives her a magical feel. But yeah, we're just going in with a dry brush. Sorry, it's supposed to be sped up footage. A lot of things went wrong, but this has taken me so long to get out. I just want y'all to have this. I think it also helps give it a little more dimension with the color shifting paint, because it helps grab light and give a nice shift. I think we're going in with some highlights. Let's see. And now we're going in more dry brushing. This is like super, super light dry brushing. This is on the lighter part. So it's almost like a very light mint green color. I love a good dry brush. Ugh, it always looks so nice. So I would say even beginners, as long as your piece is dry enough, give a dry brush a go. It's so worth it in the end. So worth it. So now we're doing her staff. I'm mixing up some colors for that. I think I'm going to try to do her hand first. Nope, staff first. I think I didn't want to deal with trying to do the skin color, because I spent 2 hours on her skin before this. So, you know, 2 hours on the skin before this, I'm not going to fuss with that at the time. So, we're just working on the staff itself. Trying to get a nice blend between the bottom of the staff and the I guess mid-shaft? Yeah, because it's upside down. I'm not at the leaves part yet. The leaves are still stuck in blue tack. Trying to be a little more careful, because I know that's the hand has to be skin colored. And I found out on the body how hard it is to cover green. I decided to take it off the blue tack. Even though this piece breaks multiple times. And I have to re-super glue it. Leaving it brown on the end leaves it a little more like Mother Nature intended it, if that's what you wish to do. I painted mine solid, kinda whatever you're feeling at the time. So, picking out colors. This time I switched to a different method. I think this is the homemade wet palette method. There are lots of videos on YouTube for that. Parchment paper, a sponge, and some water at the bottom of a glass container. And it was black. And that's what we went with. Trying to be very careful right now. Yay. Here comes the painting of the leaves. Me trying to hold her tiny little hand to help me so I don't smear the paint everywhere. Make it super difficult for myself. Base coating is always the messiest part. Always, never fails. Because then you always wonder, well, where am I going to stick this now? Where's this going to go now? You never have any idea. So put the staff away for the time being. Then I pulled her back out for what? Because this is another day. What did I pull her back out for? Finish her hair, maybe? I don't know. We're mixing a lot of paint for it, whatever it is. If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. This has got to be your kind of content if you're here this long. If you like video games or watching gaming, I do that as well. And it's like called Caffeine TV. And also on Twitch. Same name as on here, Lilithx Fallen Angel HQ. Yep, I was right. We're doing the rest of her hair. Whoopee. Very out of focus. One thing about the camera I'm using right now, there is autofocus, but I don't like to use it when I'm painting. But the angle I have to have it at to paint and it being on camera is not a good angle for me to paint at, because then I can't see anything. I think she still has that mark on her shoulder. And that's why I took it away. I was trying to get the mark off her shoulder. I think it's still there. All this is off screen. Of course it is. Let's see what all that off camera stuff was about. Oh, we were mixing colors for the flowers. The pretty flowers in our hair. Started with a blue base, but I think I put glitter over that flower specifically. You will find I don't paint miniatures like other people. I use chunky glitter paint and color shifting paint. Beautiful metallic paints. Although I do want to gradually upgrade to non-metallic metallics, because I think it'll look awesome and fit my style a lot better. But that is a skill I've yet to obtain. We'll get there eventually. But for certain, I covered that with chunky glitter. I most certainly did. I did. I like it though because it catches the light, especially in dim lighting. Makes people kind of take a second take. Yep, there's the chunky glitter. But you can't really brush on, you can, but if you want like a thick layer, I might make a video about it, but if you want a thick layer of it, you need to get like a sponge, paint it on the sponge, and then dab it onto the surface if you want a thick layer. Just with miniatures, that's hard to do. The smaller ones anyway. If I get some bigger ones, it's probably what I'll end up doing if I use it. Just painting some flowers, got some yellow ones, some blue ones. We're out of frame. It's not one of my videos if I'm not out of frame at least once. Okay, now we're doing the pink layers. The things that glow. I think this was the hardest part for me, doing the pink layers. Because I wanted them opaque, but I didn't want them like where you couldn't see the glow. So I figured a wash would be my best bet for this. And I think this is the wash I did with mixing medium. Not really liking it. Turns to more of like a jelly. It kind of sits on top of whatever you're doing. And a note, I had painted her hand pretty white. It's like a white that fades to her skin tone a little bit, because I had planned to do this, where the glow kind of emits onto her hands, also onto her face from where her eyes are going to be glowing pink as well. So we're just slowly building up to pink. That's all we're doing. And then I decided to make it even darker. I didn't like that either. You'll see I'll come in and take off a lot of that pink in a minute. Even put some pink glow across her arm. Just anywhere I think that the pink light would have been emitting. And here come the eyes, and they're out of focus. Of course they are. I think I noticed that though, and then tried to get a better visual for y'all. Adding some like pink wash slightly over where the eyes are. Trying to make it look even more glowy and pretty. Some red lipstick. Adding some more pink wash. Trying to do like final pink touches. That is not the best glowy thing I've ever made. My glow stuff has gotten a lot better. Actually, I'm working on the necromancer now. The glow effect will be a lot better on that. Trying to dry brush some details onto the fox while I'm letting the pink set, because I've decided that the pink's not really building the way I want it built, because it's not setting up right. And all this is out of frame again. I'm trying, guys. You know, all this is typically cut out of my editing process. Not this time. Thought I'd cut it all out. But guess not. Unless for some reason that it threw it back in there. You can kind of see what I'm doing. And I think this is where I start gluing stuff together. Maybe. There we go. It's got pink glowy eyes as well. Yep, this is where I start gluing stuff. Very carefully. Because I don't want to get my fingers stuck together. I have some spots on the tail and stuff that I need to touch up, but just kind of showing you everything glued together there. And how it looks. Now, that's her completely finished. Mine is gluing on her hand. Gluing on her hand. That took a while. This was a tedious process. It was a struggle. The peg for her wrist, in my opinion, needs to be a little longer. Could have been because I didn't clean it off well enough. But when it broke off on me again, I decided to re-glue it. I attempted to fix the peg. It worked. She looks beautiful now. Her wrist hasn't fallen off. Oh, wait, we still haven't done the ears. I was wondering why I hadn't jumped into gluing her hand on. That's why we still haven't done the ears. So I'm mixing up color for the ears. Oops, jumped ahead of myself. Still not in focus. At least I'm on screen. At least you can see what I'm doing there. You gotta try to focus it. And you can do those quick YouTube snap edits. Hey, see what I'm doing? Alright, be back in 5 minutes. Look, it's done. Hours of work done in a snap. That's what I need to do. And fades to black. There we go. Get the ears done. finishing up her tail. I think that's where the video ends. Thank y'all for coming so much. And join us next time.